the classic Everglades fishing. You know, what comes to mind immediately is snake bite, tailing fish.
There he is.
There you go.
Nice.
Good shot, man.
That was sweet.
You know, you have a die off of the seagrass, and that area just wasn't quite as good. You know, people are really disappointed. And now it's so good to see it coming back, because not only are the fish coming back, but the water just seems as clear and healthy as I've seen it ever.
Oh, look at them all.
Like tournament days,
That's
boy.
incredible, dude. Oh, yeah. Come on. Oh, he ate it. He ate it. He ate it. Nice, baby. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I thought you said you had to...
got him, relax.
Oh, dude, he just ripped my boat off. Oh, awesome. Look at that big boy. Woo.
The Hawks Cay Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, with Captain Tom Rowland and Captain Rich Tudor.
Well, this is the kind of morning we've been waiting for, man.
Got that right.
Look at this.
Doesn't get any nicer than this.
Fish are gonna be happy. I'm thinking we'll just run straight back and look for redfish.
Yeah.
Redfish back there just been getting bigger and bigger, so they're, I guess they're big enough to stick their tails out again.
Yeah.
But it seems like it's been a long time since we found some good tailing redfish, huh?
I know. It has been.
I'm thinking the last time was when those big giant schools, right?
I think so.
It was like it peaked, you know,
That was
the
pretty
best ever.
special. That was pretty special right there. Hard to imagine anything could get much better than that.
I think we'll maybe just go right up into snake bite right off the bat, look around in there. Only thing I'd be worried about up in there is if the storms fire up, you know, on the mainland, but...
Yeah, that's why we should go first.
Right.
Go straight to the meat. I think it's always a special morning when you can leave real early and slick calm, get this beautiful sunrise. I mean, that, to me, that's the best. I mean, that's like what fishing in the Florida Keys is all about to me. A slick morning, sunrise, you got this anticipation, you're like, oh, I hope what we're looking for is gonna happen. I just love that so much.
Oh yeah, man, it started when I woke up, you know, I was beating my alarm clock, waking up, you know, just in hearing the sound of nothing, you know, just knowing it was gonna be slick calm and just leaving the dock super early, you know, knowing that forecast was just perfect. It was gonna be super calm all day. And those days are the ones that are special because when you're back there on those flats, everything's alive. You know, you start to see, you know, just every wake, whether it's a mullet, whether it's a tail come up, whether it's a tarpon roll, just so visual. The birds, just everything just seems to just be out, you know, and about. Just really special conditions. Man, it's like a mirror out there.
Good. What hook do you want on this?
I usually go a little circle. There's a hook box right in there.
That one?
Yeah, that's probably good. Man, what a day.
What a day. It's beautiful.
And then when we get into the snakebite area, we have to idle. Once we get out of the main channel, they have an idle zone where you can idle in there for a long ways into snakebite. And then once you get past those markers, it's pull and troll only, which is, it's more effort, but it allows, you know, less people to get in there and the fish to be less disturbed and protecting the seagrass. All right, as far as we can go on the big motor. Trolling motor from here and see if we can find them. The great thing that we had going on this boat, on our 17 skiff, was a really good trolling motor setup. We have a 36-volt trolling motor on there with this lithium pro battery, this single, lightweight, 36-volt setup. And that trolling motor has 105 pounds of thrust. And man, we went miles in there. And that allowed us to really get back further and explore more than we would just poling.
Well, you know, and then we also go with the binoculars, and you get out in the areas where it is totally slick, and you start looking way out further. And on those slick conditions, you're like, I know 100% that's a redfish when you're looking with your naked eye, and then you look at the binoculars and you're like, something doesn't look quite right. So you keep scanning. And then we kept scanning and kept scanning. We kind of locked into the direction where we were seeing stuff that we were 100% sure. And we, you know, when somebody would see it with the binoculars, it's like, okay, 100% redfish.
That's looking like fish there. Yeah, that's redfish tipping right there, isn't it? That's cool. They're just barely tipping their tail out. That's a bunch of fish, Tom.
There it is. They're not going anywhere fast. Get them.
There he is.
There you go.
Nice.
Good shot, man.
That was sweet. That was cool, man. Look at the school. That was what catfish. A school of catfish and a school of mullet. Totally cool. I was beginning to lose hope. Look at these catfish. I've never seen that, and the ladyfish is swimming with them too.
The catfish that day, we were both getting fooled by the catfish, and then even in the binoculars, we're looking and we're like, you know, that looks like redfish, but something,
Well, you'd see
just something doesn't look right.
The black tail instead of a red tail. You know?
Yeah, but we push up about as shallow as we can possibly get, and these fish are tailing up in there. The first opportunity, you throw in there and make a really nice shot, and the fish are playing ball. You
Instantly, man. The second it hit the water, just ate it. It was really cool. That is awesome. That's a decent sized fish. That was bigger than I thought it was going to be. You know, it's interesting when it comes to these tailing fish. I think it's, you know, just they have to get to a certain size before they feel comfortable getting up here and here, super shallow.
Yeah.
Possibly because of the predators. You know, the birds and ospreys will come and eat them if they're too small.
You know, I sure have seen an osprey come after like a ladyfish, and you see them flying with ladyfish and stuff, but
Yeah.
I really hadn't seen them flying around with a redfish too much.
Because they're smart enough not to go on the flats until they get big enough, I guess. That's cool, man.
That's a great sized fish, man. If they all grow up like that, that's terrific. It's got that coloration, you know. It's almost exactly the color of the bottom when you let him go. So perfectly camouflaged. You hold the thing up and it doesn't look like it would be, but man, he perfectly blends.
Yeah!
Right on.
That is cool. Got one. Oh, look at them all.
Like tournament days,
That's
boy.
incredible, dude.
The Hawks Cay Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, is brought to you in part by Hawks Cay Resort. Find what lures you. Lowrance, America's #1 fish finder. B&W Trailer Hitches, towing adventure. Mercury Marine, go boldly. St. Croix Rods, the best rods on earth. Yeti, built for the wild. And by Ameritrail Trailers, Daiwa, Marathon, Power Pole, and Reflex Boat Decking.
The classic Everglades fishing. Like if somebody said, you know, yeah, I was doing some red fishing in the Everglades, you know, what comes to mind immediately is snake bite, tailing fish, you know, getting up there, and there for so many years, you know, that's where, you know, if we had a red bone tournament or even the IFA or ESPN redfish tournaments, basically every boat in the field is in that area, and it had enough fish to support all of that. And then there's years where, you know, you have a die off of the seagrass, and that area just wasn't quite as good. You know, people are really disappointed because a lot of guides made their entire career in that small little area, and there were plenty of fish for everybody. And now it's so good to see it coming back, because not only are the fish coming back, but the grass has regrown, and the water just seems as clear and healthy as I've seen it ever.
Yes.
There you go.
There he
That's
is.
him for sure.
That was awesome.
Well, I'll tell you what, he tailed as good as he could, you know, just like stuck his whole tail out of the water, and then he just started creeping along.
He was waiting for something to drop out of the sky.
If you hit him in the tail, they might be, wow, a little worried about it.
That was an awesome bite. That was really cool. Man, look how shallow he is. I mean, the grass is just right at the surface. Wow. I always find it amazing. That fish, you saw him tail, and then you're like, he disappeared, but all he did was just...
He was there, though. Man, we should have waited on that other one that I had over there behind us. Because when you get that 100%, you know, there's another 100% right here at 12 o'clock.
Nice.
They are happy to be up here today. There was no doubt that these fish were playing ball, and you know, one of the things that's fun is to catch them on different kinds of lures, catch one on different rods, and then, you know, maybe you got a fly rod, And I always like fly fishing. I think fly fishing is awesome. It's just one of the different tools that we have, and in those situations, you can get a very soft landing with the fly, and you can get one that is completely weedless, and you can get one that stays close to the surface but doesn't go down into the grass. So a lot of times the fly is the best. And in this situation, you know, it was great, man. There's some fish kind of tailing and moving. I just laid that fly out in front and just twitched it once or twice, and man, it was on. These fish are up there eating.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. Nice
That's
job.
what it's supposed to look like.
Talk about beautiful, no wind, perfect wake, awesome visibility. And look at them just tailing all around us. Like the old days.
Man, that area, snake bite, looks about as good as I've ever seen it.
Yeah, it looks really good, and you know, thinking back, man, it has been years since we've been on tailing redfish back there. It used to be, you know, just a staple, like, and it was just special because, you know, that tailing redfish, sticking his tail up, you know, calm conditions, just really special. When we had that seagrass die off, it seemed like, you know, the water got muddy, a lot less fish. It just wasn't consistent tailing conditions. And then we had it seemed like a generation of redfish came in. And the last couple of years, we've been catching a lot of redfish, but they've been smaller fish. But this year, I guess that same class of fish finally grew up to where they're big enough, you know, whether these 25 inches or something, to where they're able to, you know, get up in there and actually stick their tail out of the water. So we were definitely finding more fish up shallow.
Right in the corner of the old lip.
Pretty casting.
Where you're supposed to be.
With not a...
I mean, that's just the situation, man. That's what you're, you know, you think about flamingo fly fishing for redfish, and that's it right there. The only thing that could be different is if those fish weren't moving, they're just sitting there, just, you know, doing the tailing just in one single spot, you know.
We see that too.
You know, we had gone up there and we had caught, you know, tons of those little ones, tons of them, jigging and stuff on the edge of channels and stuff like that. And we even talked about it at the time. We were like, you know what, when these guys grow up, it's gonna be a good fishery right here, because I mean, we would get in some of those runouts and it was every cast you're catching just these little redfish. Well, they've obviously grown up. You know, if that's a learned behavior to get up there and tail in that grass, well, they've learned it. Not a mark on that fish, boy. He's ready to go.
There you go, see, buddy.
Good work.
Right on.
The game plan is to take a shallow water skiff and get back there as far as you can get. I mean, those redfish, just the way that they're designed, they can get in incredibly shallow water. So we got as far back as we could, and we start looking in the binoculars, and yes, there are fish further up in there, but we start thinking, you know what? We've caught what's around us right now, and we're not seeing anything else. So we're gonna need to make another plan. So we decided, you know what? Let's start poling out and see what we can find out there in a little bit deeper water, because we've had good success with that before. And good thing we did too, because we found it. You can see the bodies in the water now. Right here, I got bodies.
50 of them, big ones.
Should I try when I can?
Yeah, as soon as you can get to them. I wouldn't worry about getting in front of them.
I think I'm behind them, but.
I get bit. Yeah, I got bit. Nice job, dude.
Get ready. Here they come. You gotta, they're right here with me.
I'm in.
Oh, I got two right here coming right behind me. Right there, right there, right there.
Am I over you?
Yep, but there was another fish with mine.
That was totally cool. Big suckers.
Here, they're here, moving to the right now. Now they're going away. Good eyes, man.
That was awesome.
Way to go.
I watched that school with those binoculars for 2 miles away.
This is a whole different size class here.
Yes. I was determined there had to be a big school around there somewhere. It was so calm, and finally I just kept seeing this one area where it just seemed like a big, a big wake. I mean, I started, wow, look at it blowing up. That's got to be a schoolfish. The only difference was they were out deeper. I mean, I was like, man, they're out in like 2 feet of water. I don't know, man. It wouldn't be showing if they were like that. And then as we got closer, we started to see those big tails come out. And we realized, well, yeah, they're deeper water, but it's because they're bigger fish.
Here, what is this coming behind us here? See this coming?
Probably the shark coming to eat yours.
Nope.
No,
Jacks.
oh my goodness.
Jacks.
What is it, Jack?
Yeah.
No way.
Right on.
Craziness. I'm gonna put the power pole down.
That is a nice fish, boy.
Nice, dude.
Nice fish.
There's 50 of them like that. That's awesome. Wow, and I flipped over there and hooked this big jack.
Look at that fish.
Man, the second that thing hit the water, bam!
Both of them. They're jacks too. Everything out here is eating. The moment that it hit the water, they're playing ball. And that's exactly what they're doing up there. You know, they are in that school. We're seeing the mudding behavior. We're seeing the pushing and the needlefish coming out of the water. They're looking for something to eat. I mean, it's not like, I wonder if I get it in front of these fish, if they're going to eat it. They are going to eat it. And it probably doesn't even really matter all that much what it is. It could be a fly, it could be a gulp shrimp, it could be a hardwood lure. It could be pretty much anything. It's the kind of thing where those fish are pushing, and anything that gets in their way, they're gonna eat it. That's awesome. Okay, big fella. Awesome. There sure is a lot more current out here.
Yeah, it's flowing in hard. That's a big
Ready
boy,
to go,
dude.
bud? Wow, nice. See if we can keep our eye on that.
They're turned around, they're
Cool.
coming right back to us. So the secret to the day we were catching this redfish was really a pair of binoculars. We had a beautiful day, it was gorgeous calm, but the fish were not everywhere. They were really condensed into these certain schools, and it was a vast area. And even though it was so calm, we couldn't run around and just find a school of fish. We had to trolling motor or pole and really cover that ground. And so picking up a pair of binoculars and just constantly staying out there, scanning. One of us would be poling or trolling motoring, and the other one would just be sitting up there on the cooler, just looking. And we're finding little fins, little tails, little ripples. And sometimes it would be obvious here'd be a redfish tail sticking up, but most of the time it was just a little tip or a little ripple. And from our naked eye, from distance, we wouldn't be able to tell if that was a catfish or a shark or a school mullet. But the binoculars really, let us know, okay, that's the target species, now we'll go in that direction. Otherwise, we could be wasting hours going in the wrong direction, chasing what we thought was a school of redfish, but it wasn't. And that's where these compasses can come in. This pair has a compass built into it, so I can see a school of fish, hit the compass, know, okay, that's 180 degrees, and then we can just keep heading in that direction. And it might take a long time to get there, but at least you know you're going in a straight line. Really, a pair of binoculars is a key element when it comes to this flats fishing. Don't forget about them. So if you're interested in this pair of binoculars or any of the gear that we use on Saltwater Experience, go to Tackle Direct and follow the link below.
The Huk Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, is brought to you by Yellowfin, only in a Yellowfin. Huk. Tackle Direct, the world's premier fishing outfitter. Buff, built for ultimate sun protection. Waypoint, streaming the best hunting and fishing series. Download the app today. And by Burnow & Rod Holders. Nikon. Wiley X, Lithium Pros, and Golden Boat Lifts.
It's hard for me to believe Saltwater Experience has been on for 17 years, and you can find every show for free on Waypoint TV. Go to waypointtv.com and download the app.
All right, I'm about to cast here.
I got bodies.
In the white?
I got bodies, yeah, just to the left. Yeah, right there.
Tell me when to go.
Well, whenever you think you can make it, you can probably make it.
All right, here we go. Oh, he just came right out of the water and ate it. Got one. Oh, look at them all.
Like tournament days,
That's
boy.
incredible, dude.
You know, we won a redfish tournament in that area, an IFA tournament, and we won the whole thing, and it was really fun. And I really remember that tournament really well, and just kind of how it all came together. And it was something kind of similar to that, where we found this school, they were the right size, and we end up catching our limit. It's a 2-fish limit. We went to almost exactly that same area. We found almost exactly that same thing, and we got a double, and I'll never forget it. We got pretty good at, okay, we're gonna capitalize on whatever opportunity there is, and we're gonna try to get a double. So we did it, and I got that same feeling in my gut like we used to get when we were tournament fishing. I hadn't had that feeling, like that tournament feeling like that in quite a while. You know, we stopped fishing those redfish tournaments quite a while ago. And coming back, I'm like, man, that was just like the tournaments. That was cool.
Okie dokie. That's mine right there. Perfect spot, right in the tip of the nose.
Wow, that is a big fish.
That was an incredible way to finish the day up.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we caught the smaller ones up shallow, then we pushed out deeper and got in that big school. I mean, just to, you know, talk about the redfish and being back. I mean, it was really good.
Yeah, snake bites on its way back. But whether you catch any fish or not, it's a no-lose situation. From right here at Huk's Cay, you can run back there. There are no houses, there's no development. You get back there, the bird life is unbelievable. You're gonna see nature like it's supposed to be. And you know, it's right there. And we're really lucky to have that right as close as we have it to here.
Twin brothers.
That's impressive.
That whole school was like that.
Yep, or bigger, right?
Maybe, I don't know. I bet there wasn't a half an inch difference in the whole school. Let's see if we can find that school again. Maybe we catch one more, or two more. All right, see you boys later. You guys, take off. They're going the opposite directions. One went one way, one went the other.